The Sports Scouting Report with Lee Brecheen. Brought to you by Medine's Collision Center in Baton Rouge. Take control, choose Medine's. Grosse Savant Lodge, south of Lake Charles, the true sportsman's paradise. Treads and Care Company in Central, the tires you need, the service you want. Harvey Auto in Shreveport, Bossier City, the name you have trusted for years. And Gage in Baton Rouge. Get better connected with Gage. Here's your host, Lee Brecheen.
Hi everyone, I'm Lee Brecheen, host of the Sports Scouting Report. We got a great show today. Our first guest is going to be Micah Johnson, a big-time, I'm going to say athlete from Parkview Baptist. He's played receiver, H-back, linebacker, DN, whatever they need. He can play running back, class of 223. I think he's one of the best players in the state of Louisiana, Division I player. We also have Ben Hubbard with CrowdPush. We're going to talk about the NIL, which I know that Micah's probably going to want to know about one day when he's going to college, already in high school. And we also got a coach from Catholic High, coordinator, Zack Morris, former Central High School quarterback back in the day, but a great coach for Coach Semino at Catholic High. We'll be right back.
Listen, whatever you're driving right now, Tommy Harvey wants it. Bring it in to Harvey Subaru, Lexus of Shreveport, Bossier City, or John Harvey Toyota. They're paying big bucks for all trades right now. They'll cut you a check right there. Tell them Lee sent you. If you need a paint job or repairs to your vehicle, go see Medine's Collision Center located in Baton Rouge, Louisiana on Kincaid Avenue. The number to call is 357-7983. That's 357-7983. Your Baton Rouge Accident Advisors.
Welcome back. I'm Lee Brecheen, your host of Sports Scouting Report. Our first guest is Micah Johnson, a big-time football recruit from Parkview Baptist in Baton Rouge. Watched him the first time his freshman year as a starter, and I remember telling Coach Stephon LaFleur, who is that guy? I mean, is he a senior? And Coach's comment was, no, that's a freshman. That young man's going to be a great player. And sure enough, 4 years later, and he'll tell you, I mean, 6'2", 230-plus pounds, can run like a receiver, plays wide receiver still, not tight end. And also now has grown into the linebacker position. But I'm going to go ahead and welcome Micah to the show. Micah, thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you, man. So how are you enjoying the recruiting world going into your senior year? I want to start with that. What do you think of this recruiting process?
It's fun so far, like going to camps, visits, working hard,
Tell everybody who you like and any camps set up that you're going to in the future in May, June.
I don't know my schedule yet, but it's going to be a lot of camps.
Who do you like the most right now?
Probably the University of Houston.
They've offered you, right?
They ain't offered, but they're talking to me, though.
That's good.
Yeah.
Talking to you. So the coordinator?
Yeah.
What do they want you to play? Because you can play anywhere on the field.
Well, last year I went as a receiver, but, I don't know. I'm just ready, every position, to be honest.
Tell everybody some camps you might have went to already. Who are some of the colleges you've been to?
I went to Ole Miss last year. I think University of Houston last year. And I was supposed to go to LSU, but I injured my shoulder the day before, so I couldn't go make that one. But this year I got a lot of camps going to.
I remember talking to Coach about you 4 years ago. I remember you were 6'2" as a freshman. You looked like a senior when you were a freshman. And you were lined up as a receiver, and I'm like, who's that kid? I mean, you weighed, 190, 185?
Yeah.
But, I mean, you could run like a guy 150, and now you're 230, right, plus right now?
Yeah.
Almost 6'3", and still can play wide receiver.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think of playing receiver and linebacker?
I mean, I like linebacker because it's more physical. I like being physical. I'm a physical receiver. Just fun. Both of them fun. But linebacker, I just feel like it's more challenging, so I like it more.
You'd rather get a sack than a catch?
Yeah.
D coordinators are smiling right now across the country because they want tough kids right now that play D. It's hard to find a good linebacker.
Yeah.
So do you see yourself as a pass rushing outside buck type linebacker, or a Mike, or just a regular outside linebacker? Any of the three?
Regular.
Regular?
Yeah.
I mean, you have the build of Jacob Phillips. You know who that is?
No idea, but
in the 2019 national championship game for LSU, he had about 8 tackles against Clemson. He was from Tennessee, and he plays for the Cleveland Browns now. but he's 6'2", 240, and runs similar to the way you run. I mean, y'all look the same in the way that y'all run and builds and everything. But Jacob went in the 3rd round of the draft 2 years ago. Not a bad comparison, huh?
Look him up.
You got to look up Jacob Phillips, man. So I mean, you've got that type of potential. What do you think of Parkview Baptist in this coming year? I mean, you've been through 3 years, and y'all haven't had a lot of players. I mean, y'all have had to go both sides of the ball. But what do you think of this team under your coach LaFleur's?
This year, I think the offense is going to be more explosive. Because last year we had like 9 seniors on the defense leave. We got to pick some new dudes up, but offense is going to be real explosive next year.
Now, y'all have a good baseball program at Parkview. Mm-hmm. So have y'all talked to a lot of them guys coming back out for football?
Yeah, and we had some new people come in too.
That's good. Been winning, man. Y'all went to the playoffs last year.
Yeah, 2nd round.
I was at your playoff game against St. Michael's.
Oh, yeah.
I was in the stands. I was actually sitting in the Parkview side with some friends of mine, and that was a close game.
Yeah, too close.
What do you think of St. Michael's and those guys? They were tough, huh?
Yeah, they tough, competitive.
And then y'all went to E.D. White, right?
Yeah.
And they went to the state championship game.
Yeah.
And lost to U-High. I think everybody was going to lose to probably U-High this past year. But what do you think you need to work on the most?
My speed. You want to get faster, be able to guard everybody.
What do you run? I mean, I know 40 is overrated, but to me, you look fast.
Well, today we ran out 40. I ran a 4.69.
Whoa.
Yeah.
At 230 pounds? Wow. Wow. But I think your football speed's fine. I mean,
yeah.
I think you on the field you're good. But so as a linebacker, what do you need to work on the most? Pass rush?
Yeah, pass rush, block shedding.
You only played a year on defense.
Yeah, I know. I'm still kind of new to it, still learning. Yeah.
So college-wise, who'd you grow up like? And I met your mom, and I didn't know that your mom is from the state of Washington.
Yeah.
And went to Southern University. And your dad went to Grambling. So you got the rival there with your mom and dad with those two colleges.
Yeah.
And I asked you that before the show, but if the West Coast recruits you, you said you're not interested in the West Coast, right?
I mean, yeah, not really. I want to stay in the South. I like the weather down here.
Well, what if the Washington Huskies offer you Washington State?
I mean, if it's my best offer, I'm going to go play regardless, you know. Have to do it.
It's kind of grown on you growing up here, huh?
Yeah.
Louisiana. Now, what about LSU if they did offer you? How would you feel about that?
Oh, I probably commit.
There you go. I mean, Tiger coaches, if you're watching, man, I think that might happen when the summer's over. I really do.
Hopefully, keep working hard.
Keep working hard. Do you have any thoughts about any shout-outs to anybody for helping you along the way, Micah?
Had like a quarterback 2 years ago named Roman. He had the University of Houston. He helped me a lot with my recruitment. Like, anytime I ain't text a coach back, he would for me. Just helped me a lot. Then my coaches helped me a lot, too, reaching out to college coaches, too.
Roman went to IMG?
Mm-hmm.
And but anybody else? What about family? I know your mom's here.
Yeah, she helped me. Take me to practice, take me to camps, take me everything I need to do. She helped me.
Took you to the show today?
Yep.
I mean, you got to get mom out there and dad, too. You want to give a shout out to your dad?
He helped, yeah. My football recruitment a little bit. He get me better working out and stuff, you know.
Well, man, I'm excited for you. I'm excited for the season coming up. Look for this young man on both sides of the football for Parkview Baptist. He's a class of 223. And I'm not even going to, I'm just say athlete.
Yeah, athlete.
You know, you can play all over the field. Good luck to you, Micah.
Sir, thank you.
All right, thank you. We're going to be right back, and we're going to have a coach from Catholic High School, Zack Morris. We're going to talk about the Catholic Bears when we come back.
Be sure to take your car and truck for all your tire needs to Treads and Care Tire Company located in Central. The number to call is 331-8144. Family owned and operated since 1971. That's Treads and Care Tire Company. Gros Savon Lodge, the true sportsman's paradise. Gros Savon Lodge has fresh and saltwater fishing, alligator hunting, waterfowl hunting, and eco tours located south of Lake Charles, Louisiana. Give them a call at 337-598-2357. That number to call again is 337-598-2357, and have the time of your life.
Welcome back. I hope you enjoyed Micah Johnson from Parkview Baptist, a great kid. Look, he's one of those guys that you read about that's not a top 10 guy in the preseason, not top 20, He's one of those top 60, 70 guys that you read about. But when the season's over and the dust is settled, Micah's going to be one of those top 15 kids in the state that signed because he's academically great. And he's one of those jumbo guys that all college coaches love. He can play 5 positions in college. And I think that's a big need for college. In this segment, we've got Zack Morris, who is a graduate of Central High School. I'm getting old. 2006.
2006.
Seems like yesterday. Actually, Tyler Wolf was a quarterback then at that time, right, Coach?
That's right. Went to Louisville. Crazy story on that. You know, he offered by La Tech. Petrino comes down, sees his tape on YouTube, comes down to a basketball game, invites him up, and they were actually #1 in the nation at the time. So
yeah, they were kicking butt at the time.
Absolutely.
And Tyler did good. He had some injuries, and
Oh, yeah.
big guy, 6'5".
6'5", 6'6". Him and his son or his son and my son are both in the same class, and you know, so it's really cool to watch those guys grow up together too.
Tyler's back in Central?
He is.
Okay.
He is.
Now you still live in Central?
I do. I live. Been there for, I guess, 7-8 years now.
But I want to mention Zack is the offensive coordinator, quarterbacks coach for Catholic Bears.
Yeah,
A year now.
It's been
Congratulations on that.
Close to a year, you know.
I mean, you got a state title your first year. That's not bad.
It was fun. That's
Did
for
you
sure.
think, hey, I'm gonna go to Catholic and get a state championship my first year?
Absolutely not. You know, one of the things, you know, that we talked about was, you know, me never being there. You know, like that was a really cool experience. So whenever we won the semifinal game, I called a couple people and got some advice of people that have been there. You know, the biggest piece of advice was take it all in, you know, because prior to the game, like during the game, you're not going to remember everything. Yeah. But prior to and after the game, try to take as much in as possible. So. Yeah,
I mean, you were with Sid Edwards a long time and played. We want to clarify, wasn't quarterback at Central, was a safety receiver at Central. Right. I want to clarify that. But, Zack, a lot of players graduated at Catholic. It's not the first rodeo to lose a lot of players. Y'all lost three D1 running backs. Lost Emory Jones to LSU. Not a bad O-lineman.
He was pretty good.
The center, Jonathan Beal, was a heck of a center.
One of the best we've seen. That's for
3-year starter, not easy to replace. Defense, he lost Wesley Woodward, Toston, Vessel. I mean, you go on and on, Wax, you know, all these great players. But Catholic seems to be on the point where they return as many as they lose. So
Absolutely.
Y'all letter a lot of guys. You got as many back, but you got to rebuild it with the young guys coming up, right, to help them. But
Absolutely.
There's a lot of kids to talk. I don't know if we can get them all in this segment. And forgive me, and Coach knows this, if you're a parent and you're Catholic High, we're not going to be able to mention every kid.
Absolutely.
But the one I want to mention, besides Daniel Beal, the quarterback, is, to me, the sleeper on the team. I know Shelton Sampson's a great receiver.
Absolutely.
But Daniel Harden
is,
to me, the sleeper on that team. Would you agree?
Absolutely.
The other receiver.
Daniel's the other receiver. So we'll be using those guys a lot, you know, in this year's offense. And Daniel is, I mean, he's 6'2", 190 pounds, and he runs well and runs great routes. And, you know, you got to, if you're not going to cover Shelton, or if you double cover Shelton, you know, he's definitely the next guy up, you know. So. Yeah.
And then you got a quarterback that's a 3-year starter since his freshman season that's got ice in his veins, that at 14 won a state title.
Yep.
What's it feel like for you as the quarterback coach?
He is cerebral. I mean, he's a studier of the game. He wants to know more. It's just impressive to watch him make the throws that he can make. I know one of the first days we were there out in spring, he threw a field corner and like put it on the money. You know, and that's not easy, especially with the high school hashes being a little bit wider. So he's so fun to coach. Takes a lot off of. We can put a lot on him to where it makes it a whole lot easier.
And then the defense has a lot of young guys coming up. You know, Jude at DN that's going to come in and as a group replace Wesley Woodward. He had like 13 sacks last year, even though he missed a couple of games with an injury. But the talent on defense, y'all have a great linebacker. Harold is back.
Harold
Lawson is a great player. D-line, Johnson is a great. His brother's on the O-line, right?
His brother's on the O-line, and so
it's hard to tell them apart.
Oh yeah, when we first got there, it was very difficult to tell them apart. But now I think we got it down pat. So
they're both 280, 290, right? At least.
So one will hit 300 one day, then the next will hit 300. So they fluctuate, but so they're right about 290, 300.
And then Barry Remo's your new back, who was fourth team last year, but played a little bit, talented. Yeah. And then there's another group probably coming behind that to get experience, right,
Absolutely,
Coach?
Absolutely. So we got some depth in the running back room, and we're also looking at maybe moving, having a receiver filling a role too there. And,
okay.
So just being able to utilize as many guys as possible.
You had an H-back that was all-world last year.
Prince Edwards.
Phew.
Yeah.
I still think he was the best blocker in the state.
He was physical.
Where's he going? I hope he still plays football.
He's not looking at it as of right now. Last we talked, I believe Navy, Air Force, maybe military. So
maybe Kelly can talk him into going out. Maybe as a walk-on, get a scholarship like John David Moore did within a year.
Oh yeah.
I mean, he's a big guy.
He is.
He's a punisher.
And he is a physical back.
And then we can go on and on. We're going to finish the segment, but I want to bring Coach back one more segment and talk about Semino, talk about your staff, Zach, talk about the district. Man, it's brutal.
Oh, yeah.
Dutchtown's going to be better. All these teams, y'all play East Ascension, the Zacharys. I mean, it doesn't get easier. Even if you go out of district with a U-High, I mean, Parkview or West Feliciana. I mean, it's just these teams in Baton Rouge are phenomenal. We'll be right back with more Zack Morris. Later in the show, we've got Ben Hubbard, who's going to talk about his company. We're going to talk about NIL, Coach.
NIL.
Which everybody wants to, and we're going to probably explain it more in 25 minutes than I even knew in the last 2 months. We'll be right back.
Gage has served Louisiana for over 40 years. Let Gage create a custom-tailored solution for your business and become your partner in technology. Give them a call today at 225-753-4243 and help your business get better connected with Gage. Looking for a used car? Harvey Autos has 3 dealerships, which means 3 times the used vehicles. They've got everything from fuel-efficient compacts to luxury models, even hybrids, and certified pre-owned with a warranty. Check out John Harvey Toyota, Harvey Subaru, or Lexus of Shreveport, Bossier City.
Welcome back. Hope you're enjoying the show. We had Micah Johnson earlier, recruit from Parkview Baptist, 223. I think the Alabamas and LSU's will be on him soon. Houston sounds like they can get him possibly, but recruiting changes. Just like this NIL is going to change, we're going to talk about later in the show. But right now we have Zack Morris, Catholic High School offensive coordinator, quarterback coach, graduate of Central High School in 06. And they're going to be challenging for, Coach, another state championship. I'm so confused. There's so many trophies at Catholic High lately.
Yeah.
Is it 3 out of 4 state championships? Or 4 out of 6?
I believe it's been 5 years in a row to get there. I think 3 out of 5.
That's amazing.
I believe.
Is that amazing?
Mm-hmm. Oh, it is.
I mean, when I was growing up in Baton Rouge, Struma was a powerhouse before my time. My dad, it was always a Struma. And then it was Baton Rouge High when they had football. And then when you were in school, Catholic wasn't as good. They were good, but not like this.
Yeah.
And it was more John Curtis, and you were hearing about West Monroe, Evangel Christian, which they're all still good teams, programs. But what Catholic's doing, if to go back, this would be 6 years in a row. Mm-hmm. That's amazing. I need to look at the record book in 5A if anybody has went to state championship games 6 years in a row. Probably not. I don't even think West Monroe has. Well, yeah, 2 double knocks. Sorry, Coach Semino, but Coach, the district, if you're watching a show and you're in Shreveport or you're watching a show and you're in New Orleans, the teams are incredibly talented.
For sure.
They're big. They're fast. I mean, when y'all play East Ascension, that's a battle.
Yep.
I mean, they're 280 on the D-line, 280 on O-line. There's skill guys are big guys.
I think that they were probably one of the biggest teams we faced all year long. They got some big kids up front and even on the perimeter.
It's always good when y'all play state championship winner, Zachary, even if it's district, non-district. Scotlandville's really talented.
Oh, yeah.
What are you thinking? Are you sleeping much at night as a quarterback coach? I mean, you thinking
I'm trying to watch as much film as possible prior to, you know.
Right.
All of the district has changed, so now it's Central, it's Liberty, it's Zachary, Scotlandville, and Woodlawn.
And then Liberty's talented. They got a lot of good kids back. You know, your old high school, what's it to face Central? Is that going to be a home or away game?
It's going to be home. It's going to be at Memorial. So
that's going to be emotional for you.
Oh, for sure. You know, being there and graduating from there and going back, and I think I was there for 7 years as the assistant coach, and it'll be. I still know a lot of those guys over there, so it'll be fun though.
Zach, I want to tell the people that haven't seen it, but at Catholic High, they built a state-of-the-art weight room. What do you think of that weight room that you have? I mean, for a high school,
it's beautiful. 20 racks, and then Coach Bruce does a great job in there with those guys, and they're in there every day, and they're working hard, and it's so functional to have a facility like that.
What have you seen being at Catholic in such a short time with the win? Besides the winning, but it just seems there's the confidence is there and the toughness with Semino, your head coach.
For sure.
I mean, he came in and just implemented. It was already good with Fertitta, but I mean, they just seem the kids seem even tougher.
It's man, we talked about it the other day in one of our meetings. Just coming together and being that brotherhood, and that's one of our mantras over there right now is coming together and making sure that you can look to the left and look to the right and know that guy's got you back because he's working just as hard as you are.
And I want to mention it all started with Dale Weiner. He won the first title and was there for 30 years as just the head guy.
Yeah.
And now retiring.
He is. He's he's a great resource for sure for us, and just getting there and everything. And he's been great. Great to work with.
Dale, thanks for helping me in 29 years. He would always see me and he'd be like, "Oh man, before the game, I'm zoning out." He was probably more zoned in than any coach I ever met when he coached.
Yeah.
Game day especially.
He's a phenomenal human being, man. He is just give you the shirt off his back. So he's
coached
a great guy.
Warwick Dunn, the late Kevin Franklin, Donnie Jones, Travis Minor. I mean, Mark Stockbauer went to Stanford. All these great players, Shanklin, Kentucky. I mean, you just go on and on and on and on and on. And heck, even the two guys that set up today went to Catholic High.
Yep.
But yeah, it's a great school. Anything that you want to mention, Zach, to promote Catholic High today? I know track, Coach Boudreaux is phenomenal. He's one of the greatest ever in track.
Absolutely. Track team's doing really well.
Lacrosse.
Baseball team's doing well. Lacrosse is I talk to Coach Hopkins all the time about lacrosse and how they're doing, and it's just a phenomenal place to be right now.
There's some football players on that lacrosse team.
Nathan Schlegel and Hudson Brown are the two guys.
Tight end and linebacker.
Mm-hmm. And I talked to them about them the other day, and they're a force to be reckoned with out there. So it's been fun to watch them.
And Schlegel's going to be a big tight end H-back for you this year.
He is. He's going to kind of fit that H-back role that Prince was in. Yep.
And then the linebacker, he's still got 2 years, right? 2 years left, or is he going to be a senior?
He'll be a senior.
Yep. Mike linebacker. Coach, keep doing a good job. Maybe it'll be another state championship. Obviously, there's a lot of hard work involved.
Absolutely.
And when does spring? Do y'all have a spring game?
We're intra-squad on May 20th.
And that's at Catholic?
It'll be at Catholic.
Okay.
So
not Olympia, but at Catholic.
At Catholic Stadium.
Not Memorial Olympia where they play.
That's right.
Zach, thank you, man.
I appreciate your time.
Good luck to you.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Thank you. We'll be right back. We got Ben Hubbard, and we're going to talk about Ben's company. We're going to talk about NIL. We'll be right back.
If you need a paint job or repairs to your vehicle, you've got to go to Medine's Collision Center located in Baton Rouge, Louisiana on Kincaid Avenue. The number to call is 357-7983. That's 357-7983. Family owned since the 1960s. Be sure to take your car and truck for all your tire needs to Treads & Care Tire Company located in Central. Call 331-8144. Family owned and operated. It's 1971. That's 331-8144.
Welcome back. Lee Brecheen, your host of Sports Scouting Report. I hope you enjoyed Micah Johnson, Parkview. And then Zack Morris, Central, I want to say Central High School, but he went to Central Catholic High School, offensive coordinator, quarterback coach. And I want to thank Jace Lejeune thank God with Google. Catholic High, if they make 6, would tie West Monroe. West Monroe went 6 years in a row to the Class 5A state championship game. Just in case you needed to know, thanks for Jace for looking that up on Google or wherever he found it. We want to go ahead and introduce our big guest today, Ben Hubbard. Before we put the camera on him, before we introduce him, he owns CrowdPush, which is a company that today we're going to educate everyone in the business world, the high school coaches, the recruits, the moms and dads, because everybody's confused about NIL, even me. Because we're reading stuff every day. This is changing, and there's new information, and people are worried about the sport going kaput, right? But after today, hopefully everybody will feel better. And there is some positive stuff with NIL. And Ben, thanks for joining us.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.
All the way from Brandon, Mississippi.
Yes, drove down last night. Thanks for putting me up. So I didn't have to do a 6-hour road trip today, which I have done to Baton Rouge before and probably will do again. But
want to mention, though, that you grew up in Louisville, Mississippi.
Louisville, Mississippi.
They still Louisville in Kentucky.
Yeah. We use the English pronunciation.
Oh, there you go. There, the other one.
Yeah.
Yeah, not the Kentucky.
The Kentucky's a different place.
Yeah, but lives in Brandon,
I do.
Which is, and I've got to get this out because all of our followers watch all these great quarterbacks come out of Brandon. Mm-hmm. Minshew, and then the current quarterback at Mississippi State, Will Rogers, is from Brandon.
He's from Brandon. Actually, some family ties to Louisville as well.
What's in the water over there in Brandon?
I don't know. Something good. Hope it's good for my kids too.
right. Now Ben came all the way over here, and we talked on the phone the other day. I want to thank Gary Littlefield for introducing me to from Gulf Coast Bank.
Yep.
Because you spoke to a business
group. To the
group
SME
here.
group, we sponsored their March luncheon, which was an NIL roundtable with several different people from LSU, compliance, some local companies trying to educate the market. So we sponsored that, and I got to speak a few words as well.
Now, I want to ask 100 questions at one time.
Which one first?
But NIL, everybody is really scared and worried because they don't know enough. And because the first thing people hear, Ben, including me, is kids are getting paid, which is fine, but the rules are not, they're not.
What are the rules, right?
What are they? But tell everybody about CrowdPush, and then we'll get to the other stuff.
Okay.
But your company is the company that's trying to do the positive part of NIL, which allows the kid to make even more money, and not the university.
Correct. So CrowdPush is an online platform. It's a crowdfunding tool. So if you're familiar with crowdfunding, it's where a lot of people come together to contribute to a common cause. We do campaigns for this that we call a push, and we target it to a specific team. So LSU football, LSU gymnastics, Mississippi State football, Alabama gymnastics. So you as a fan or a business who care about that team can come in and put money into the pot that we will then take that money for the pot. We take 7% as our handling management fee to run it. There's some merchant processing fees that come out, and then we reserve a few percentage points in case we have affiliates or partners to help us. And then we take 85 to 90% of this money and we use it to offer an NIL endorsement contract to every person on the team. So not just the starting quarterback, just the football, but everybody. So we'll offer each 85-man person on the roster a contract. If it's the gymnast, there's 16, 17 or so on the gymnastics team. We'll offer each of them an equal NIL contract to sponsor, to give us deliverables for our company, CrowdPush.
And what you were telling me, Ben, that the difference is if they come to you and your company, the athlete gets more money.
Correct.
It's all toward them. If you deal with the university as a business, they're not going to make as much money.
Correct. Well, let's say you contribute to an athletic foundation. You are sponsoring the athletic department, and the funds are used for the athletic department. Given the laws and stuff now, there's no way for that money to flow to the athletes. The money has to be in an NIL deal, which has certain rules that have to hit.
Yeah.
So we founded our company as a crowdfunding mechanism to allow fans and businesses to participate in that and to build a community where dollars can flow to the athletes. And so you can support the athletes and the team you cheer on each Saturday, each Friday night, each Thursday night.
And we're going to take a break pretty soon, but when we come back, you've got a great idea about if fans contribute, and you got a certain number that hits a certain number of money.
Correct.
That would go directly to the kids.
Correct.
And I want to share that when we come back. And I've had many questions for Ben, and not just for me, but for everyone watching, the same concerns. We'll be right back with more Ben Hubbard with CrowdPush. We'll be right back.
Gros Savon Lodge, the true sportsman's paradise. Gros Savon Lodge has fresh and saltwater fishing, alligator hunting, waterfowl hunting, and eco tours located south of Lake Charles, Louisiana. Give them a call at 337-598-2357. That number to call again is 337-598-2357, and have the time of your life. Gage has served Louisiana for over 40 years. Let Gage create a custom tailored solution for your business and become your partner in technology. Give them a call today at 225-753-4243 and help your business get better connected with Gage.
Welcome back. I hope you're enjoying the show, man. It's been a packed show with Micah Johnson, Parkview Baptist, Coach Morris, Catholic High, Baton Rouge, offensive coordinator. Now Ben Hubbard, CrowdPush. We're talking NIL. And later in the week, by the way, we have a coach that'll be calling in from Bunkie, Louisiana. Coach Pujol, who's a great guy, spent some time in Baton Rouge, went to Bunkie, and you'll find out that 90% of his staff played football and went to Bunkie. We also have more shows this week, and we'll start promoting them next week as well. Ben Hubbard, a graduate of Mississippi State in Starksville.
That's right.
Cowbell Heaven.
Yep.
And then Georgia Tech, your master's.
Yep. All in computer science. So I'm a software guy.
Not my world, but yes. That's why we brought you on.
Yep.
Getting back to your company, CrowdPush, and I want to get this out because it's the most common thing all these guys talk about. And I think if we went to any coffee shop in Baton Rouge or Starksville or Brandon, wherever, everybody's worried about businesses being pushed on too much for money. Just the whole business model of the alumni getting strained. He's already given money to the school. You had a great idea that you mentioned to me that if the fans contributed $50 each, tell them about that number.
Yeah,
we can give it two scenarios. And it would all go to the kids. It would all go to the players.
So let's talk Tiger Stadium here in Baton Rouge. 92,600 people, I think is the official capacity. Let's say you get 90,000 people in that stadium to contribute $50, just a one-time contribution. That would be a pot of $4.5 million that we would have to then leverage for NIL contracts for the team. Same thing like in, let's say, Starkville, where I'm from and went to school, it's 62,500. If you did like 50,000 fans times $50, that's like $2.5 million that you have for
cover the whole gymnastics team.
Yeah, right. Or if you would do like a softball team or gymnastics team, some of these places are getting 10,000 people coming in. Your 10,000 people times $50 again, you get that number. And so it's a way to leverage the power of the fan base to create a sustainable NIL solution to where the universities, as they need to create a solution and to let athletes know that, in our community, we're going to support you, right? And it's not just, hey, let's go to our top money people and they have to
strain them.
And strain them, right?
And ask for more.
Correct. And say, hey, we need more or we need to divert. It's
because they're already given money.
Correct, every year. So how do you say, okay, you come in and maybe we do some new ideas for some key players, but we really need to create this community that goes to the entire team so that everybody on the team gets something. So like you said on the previous segment with the coach, as he talked about, you're looking this way and that way, shoulder to shoulder. Well, one of the problems we're addressing is there's no I in team, but there definitely is I in NIL. And so, so the NIL could destroy the team composition if you don't adopt a solution for it. And that's one of the things we want to do, which is why we're team specific and why we're equitable within the team. Now, that's not to say that every athlete across sports are going to get the same thing, because football players will probably make more because the market's willing to give it.
But your company, CrowdPush, is about the whole team, not just a couple of guys.
The whole team, everybody on the team. We offer, we get a pot of money to try and offer everybody on the team so everybody gets something.
I like that. And then we can say, okay, the businesses are not being strained. They're not being asked to carry the whole deal, because that'll end up backfiring where they're not going to give their other money to the university at some point. Let the common fans say, hey, I got $50.
Throw it in there.
90,000 fans.
That's a good bit of money.
We've raised, let's just say, 3/4 of NIL for the whole department. And you get a couple of big donors, a couple of big alumni backers to do the rest. And you keep this thing.
A solution.
You got a solution.
And then on that too is with the fans. I mean, you also want the local business who want to contribute, but maybe they can only do like $1,000. So do they want to take the effort of having to do an actual compliant NIL deal with one or two players, or do they just want to throw their logo on a site like ours that's showing, hey, community, we care about the team, we care about Mississippi State, we care about Alabama, we care about Ole Miss, we care about LSU. Put their logo up there, they get some marketing dollars, and they just kind of throw it in the pot, and then that can build up. And so then the fans are contributing, the local businesses are contributing, and then hopefully eventually the businesses start getting a marketing value out of it, because they're putting their brand associated with the team. Because for brands, I mean, this is one of the truths of this, is there are some risks with certain athletes to tie to it. Some athletes are better at NIL than others. So how do you kind of hedge that to say, well, how do you support the team in just a simple manner of just, here's $1,000 is going to the team, and fans know it's for the team.
Ben, that just made a lot of people feel better, because everybody's stuck on how they're going to get the money. So that kind of explains that. I want to get that out the front end. When we come back, we want to talk about the rules and the regulations per state. They're all different, like you said. I mean, Louisiana's got nothing with Tennessee.
And then they change.
They change every, legislature, whatever. I'm not a politician, but we'll talk about the rules and where we are with the rules as of today. We'll be right back.
So, hey guys, just wanted to take a minute to tell you about Harvey Autos. If you need a new or used car, there's 3 great dealerships right here worth checking out. John Harvey Toyota, Harvey Subaru, and Lexus of Shreveport, Bossier City. Low prices, honest people. Tell them Lee sent you.
Welcome back. Lee Brecheen, your host, the Sports Scouting Report. And look, before I forget, and I'm just learning social media, I grew up in that era like a lot of us that are just trying to understand the podcast. But you can get our show on YouTube, or you can go to our website, lafootballmagazine.com, where, by the way, we have a story on a recruit every day in the state of Louisiana, a different city we pick. And if we don't get to you, we will, young man, if we don't have an interview yet. We've got to interview 1,000 kids. So we've got a lot of time to interview a lot of kids. Ben, that's a lot of players.
That's a lot.
Yeah, and every mom and dad are like, when are we getting our interview?
When are you getting my kid?
Can't give you a date yet, but we will get it this year. Means after or before recruiting's over. Ben, here with your company, CrowdPush, NIL rules as we are now. Here's the other worry with people. There's a lot of confusion on what are the rules.
So let's talk about the rules. So it starts at the NCAA, which has a not large set of guidelines, but really 3 key things. So an NIL deal for an athlete cannot be an inducement to attend a particular university. It cannot be. So you cannot say, I'll give you $5,000 if you attend LSU. Can't do that. It cannot be pay for play, meaning I can't give you bonuses or money for touchdowns or home runs or any on the field, the track, the gym activities you do. Can't do that.
That's the second one.
Yeah, and then the third thing to note is that there has to be a quid pro quo, meaning I as a company have to have some kind of marketing value from you, the athlete, in exchange for the compensation. And the compensation can be actual cash dollars. It can be goods and services. It can be discount codes. It can be memberships, whatever. But if whatever I give you, you have to turn around and give me an equal fair market value in services. And that's usually a social media post, an interview, show up to an event, sign some memorabilia, stuff like that.
3 rules.
That's really it from the NCAA, because the NCAA really is leveraging the states. Because as they started talking about this, a lot of states started prepping up.
All their laws are different.
They're changing. So several states was it July when they made the rule, several states were out the gate with laws. Since then, people are talking about amending them. So the state of Alabama was an early adopter of the legislation, and they just recently rescinded that legislation. So they now really have no kind of legislation to go by. Like the state of Washington never actually implemented a law, so they really don't have any kind of rules to go by. The states of Mississippi and Louisiana have laws, but they're both in the process of talking about changing those laws. Like here in Louisiana, one of the key things that they did, that a lot of states did, is they disallowed the university from directly facilitating or really being involved, other than like through compliance. Because every deal has to pass through compliance. It has to not, like in Louisiana, Mississippi, no alcohol endorsements, no gambling endorsements, stuff like that. And the schools, can also say, this isn't really our brand, and so they can discount it. But Louisiana is looking to pass and change it to where the schools can be more directly facilitation, not necessarily doing the deals, but just to help being involved. I don't know where that is in the legislative session. I'd have to check. And then Mississippi is talking about it as well. And several states are doing this, right? And so it's when you talk about the laws, like where are you? And are the laws changing?
Yeah. That's a lot.
Yep.
Because it's daily. And I think the biggest fear that we kind of answered today, it's one I have, is that high school coach or that college coach is saying, okay, what about football? Because you made a great point. The only eye is in NIL right now. It's not in team. But team is everything to these coaches. And I think your idea is the best I've heard so far with your company. It's directly to give the money to the kids, find the best route to raise the money, and not make it a big media, negativity, ongoing. It's like an investigation every day. But we got to keep our guys wanting to play college ball, be a part of a team, and not become a pro because they're getting paid. Yeah, maybe getting paid and still continue their college career.
That's the goal, is that you come that happy medium of the athletes who are on these campuses and these universities can get a fair market value for being a part of the team.
And the whole team gets it.
And the whole team has something, so that you don't create this situation of, this guy's getting $100,000 and he's off doing that, and I'm getting 2 discount codes to a local thing. And so it's not even worth it for me to pursue. And that can break down the structure, which some high-profile coaches have talked about.
Yeah, you don't want a guy getting $1 million and then the offensive lineman blocking for him getting $2,000 a year.
Correct.
Because then he's like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
I'm part of this, so where's my equal?
Yep.
Your company can solve that.
That's what we're working to do. Yes,
the whole team, not just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And if you're a company watching, basically, you're only doing the 7% to handle it. The rest goes to
the athletes. 85-90% goes to the athletes.
One more thing, I want to mention this before we go, Ben, is that yesterday, this is moving so fast, Mr. Saban, who's always on top of everything, he started the first company, like Roll Tide something.
High Tide Traditions.
High Tide Traditions. Now the colleges are trying to do in-house.
Yeah, that's an interesting one. I just saw the news release yesterday when you mentioned it, because I knew that there was some stuff going on, but I don't know if that's necessarily a Saban-backed thing. It looked to be a former, I forget the gentleman's name, but they're definitely working with the university somehow, or have an unofficial kind of deal, especially probably because Alabama rescinded their laws. So Alabama's different kind of situation of what's legal or not, because right now they don't have anything.
Maybe you can incorporate like CrowdPush Tide
Yeah, well,
Tigers.
what would be great would be,
Right.
we signed a deal with the Alabama team, the gymnastics team, to do a push for them. So if we'll call that a booster collective like that, that's focused on a university, and they're actually coming up with more as a marketplace to help funnel deals from a brand to an athlete based on their fair market value. Where we are is, how do you allow the fans and local businesses to put a little bit of money in to go to a specific team, so there's that equal baseline. And so we see an ability to partner with a collective like that to say, great, you do your thing of focusing on individual deals. We really want to be the team deals.
And I want to say this, and I know you like this, but last year, I will say this, I'm going to say something very positive that made NIL. The first year it was implemented, Bryce Young got $1 million at Alabama, the quarterback. Mm-hmm. It didn't affect them. They played in the national championship game, and he gave money to every player on the team. Smart move.
Yes, very smart.
And that is how I think we keep this together as we and not I, right? I
yep.
mean,
so you don't turn the fans off either.
Yes, that's a very big fear.
At the end of the day, the fans, which I have been a fan a good portion of my life, is you want the team to win. That's why you go. That's why you watch. That's why you put all your emotional investment into it, is so that your team has X and the other team has less.
Well, Ben, I got to ask you this before we leave, because we always got to do it to football people. But what do you think Mississippi State's going to do in football this year?
Oh.
What's the record? Can you throw? It's a 12-game season.
Oh, I don't know.
So what do you think?
put me on the spot.
Leach, like him, entertaining. What do you think they can get 7-8 wins?
Yeah, pulled out similar to last year.
Are the cowbells going to ever be outlawed?
No, they did the compromise years ago, remember?
Yeah.
So now it's during set times that you can ring them and not. And
that's a defense.
And the fan base.
That's a defense.
And the fan base is actually kind of funny when you watch it. It's like the fan base has been trained by the universities. When the big Megatron comes and says stay silent, it's kind of.
They just.
Yeah, they do.
They want to keep those
funny.
cowbells in there. Well, good luck to you, Ben.
Thank you.
I'm glad we were able to educate our state, and this goes in Texas and some other states
Perfect.
as well. And I know that y'all are not even a year old with it, but
No.
you've been in technology for a long time.
Yeah, I've been in technology almost 20 years.
20, yeah.
And then we launched this in November of last year. So we're like 4.5 months old.
So businesses call Ben and give them, before we leave, a email or something they can email you, Ben.
Ben@crowdpush.com. Or you can go to our website, and there's a contact form on the website as well.
Okay, say that one more time.
Ben@crowdpush.com. Or you can go to our website, and there is a contact us form on the website as well.
Do the whole team, if you want to sponsor the whole team, whether it's $500, $1,000, or $50,000.
Yeah. And so we offer the ability to do one time. So you just want those $50 to your favorite team. You can do a monthly recurring for your favorite team. That would require signing up, but you can also do just a guest checkout. So if you just manage to want those $20 into LSU football, you just go in, click support, put in your information, check out as guest, go, and you've given $20 to the team.
And over 90% of that goes to the
85-90% will go to the athletes.
Ben, thank you.
Cheers. Thanks so much.
I've learned a lot. I'm not as mad now. I'll actually have breakfast and lunch and feel better. We just got to do a better way of getting the money raised. I hope you enjoyed the show. Check us out on YouTube, lafootballmagazine.com, also Podbean, or wherever you get your podcasts. We'll see you later this week.
Thanks for listening to the Sports Scouting Report podcast with Lee Brecheen.